If you enjoy farm podcasts, then tune into Carrot Cash Flow for all things farm business. Join us as we explore the latest trends, tips, and stories from market farmers running businesses just like yours. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just starting out, our podcast has something for everyone. Listen in and grow with us. Available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe to Carrot Cash Flow today.
I don't know how it's been for y'all. I see the news. I see the gas prices when I drive down the road, all this sort of stuff. Like everything's getting more expensive. People's budgets are getting tighter. Are you seeing any sort of more acute, quicker evidences of that? Are you hearing people talk about how stuff's getting more expensive at the market, or oh, I can't quite buy as much as I used to, or we're trying to budget our money? Like, are you getting that sense kind of where you guys are at quite yet?
No, definitely people are talking about it. We got gas on the way home we did our last plant sale yesterday, and had to get gas on the way home. And it was probably the first time so far we kind of knew gas prices were going up. But yesterday, after I filled it up, I was like, oh, okay, now I feel it. Like that was it's like $70 to fill up the truck.
Oh, I know.
we pulling the trailer to the market. We go through a quarter tank just getting to and from the market 1 week. So it's definitely, we're feeling it a little. It doesn't feel horrible yet, but I know we're kind of just starting to feel a lot of that. But even at the market, I don't know if can be tied to any of the economic stuff or whatever, but our biggest plant sale of the year was probably a third of what it was the last 2 years.
Really?
It wasn't horrible, but it was a bummer because that's the plant sale we planned for. And then the other ones kind of just get part
extras
of those plants, So that was definitely a bummer. We're pretty much on track for sales that we've been the last 2 years. We're like 1%, 2% above the last couple of years, which is nice because it's still pretty early. So, but we've definitely I wouldn't say we raised the prices, but even our friends have been hounding us the last couple of years, being like, some of this stuff is kind of cheap, guys. Like, you don't need to undercut yourself on this. Like, we always just felt bad because like we come at it from our we make the money we need to make. We feel comfortable, but like we wouldn't necessarily want to pay the price that we sell our stuff for everything.
Yeah, it's like I can't even afford my own stuff.
Yeah. So this year we've kind of instead of doing carrots for $4, we're going to do them for $5. Awesome. Instead of doing like a single bok choy for like $3, we're doing like 2 baby ones for like $4 or $5. So it's not like a crazy increase, and we're not doing it because of anything like that's going on right now, but we are kind of noticing that like we kind of feel like we should at this point, which is probably part of all of that. But yeah, people are definitely talking about it. It's in the back of my mind all year. Like, if things kind of go back to normal, probably no big deal. Feels like it might not go back to normal for a little while. So, we're just stick to the crop plan. We'll see what happens. We have a small enough farm. We feel like we can make some changes. We definitely have a little safety net that we always make sure we have in the beginning of the year. So yeah, we'll just see what happens, but it's kind of like the weather, we've done what we can, and whatever happens, happens. And yeah, we're glad that our scale is something we feel like we can make pivot and make some changes a lot quicker than other farms can. So it feels okay for now, but we'll see in the next couple months what's going on. I know the summer is always when that kind of ramps up a little bit. So
yeah, I know that's one of the hard parts about being a new farm is like you just don't have enough historical data to know. Our market was way down March and April. And it was slow last year, but last year was our first year, so I chalked it up to we don't have enough stuff, or we're new, and we have an uphill battle. And we did better. We were probably 20% better in sales this time than we were last year at this time. And so, but obviously the farm is a lot bigger. There's a lot more. We bought a car since then. We have a new car payment. Life is just more expensive, and so I talked to another farmer, and they have more data to be like, yeah, we're down 10% or we're up 4% or whatever it may be. And for me, it's like,
Yeah.
I've never been at this market for more than a year. This is the first time where we have like a loyal customer base now. I've never grown this much stuff, so I don't really know what we can possibly expect. And so it's made me a little wary, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I would say the nice thing is because we are in this, like, organic space, we're we're more insulated from these, like, massive international, resource markets, you know?
Mhm.
Uh, not to make it too much geopolitics, but it's like my fertilizer isn't being held up in the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, right, yeah. Yeah, same.
It's coming from, it's composted chicken manure coming from someplace up in the Northeast. So it's
Mhm.
it's you know it's a little more domestic. I actually don't know if we're getting anything that's overseas. There may be some minerals or something, but
Yeah,
so
most of the
we're
stuff we get
definitely
is from US or Canada, so
yeah. So
Mhm.
I did a quick check on Seven Springs because I haven't looked at prices in 2.5 months since we did our last purchase, and nothing seems to have really changed. At least the things that
Yeah.
I know off the top of my head, I'm like, I know exactly how much this is. I'll check, like, okay, it's the same price. So now
Mhm.
whether that's because they're holding out as long as they possibly can before they raise their prices, and maybe I'll check tomorrow and all the prices go up.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I think they probably are trying to hold out a little bit.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Hello, growers. Looking to turn your homestead into a profitable business? Or are you a farmer looking to boost your sales? Check out my book, Sell Everything You Grow. This book is the ultimate guide to choosing the right farm business model that fits your farm, time, and location. Discover which model has the highest profit margins and why diversification is so important. Whether you're selling apples, vegetables, or microgreens, Sell Everything You Grow will help you find your first market or expand into new ones. Get Sell Everything You Grow on Amazon and start selling more today.